Are you constantly getting bugged by cops for your loud exhaust? Even though they're not mechanics, nor sound professionals, or usually have the right equipment to write you a ticket, but they write you a ticket anyway, subjectively, because they think it's loud or your exhaust tip is too big. I have the perfect solution for you. A decibel meter. Hey everybody, all jokes aside, over the past couple of years, I've felt this invisible war going on with car enthusiasts, especially where I'm from. They're handing out tickets left, right, and center, and it bothers me. That is literally so subjective, and there's no actual science behind it. Right now, there's a blitz going on during the summertime. If a cop thinks that your car is too loud, thinks it's too loud, they can write you a ticket, and you have to pay for it or waste a day's work and go and fight it. Not only that, but if aesthetically, this is legitimate thing here. If your exhaust looks too big, they can write you a ticket for a widened exhaust outlet. I am not kidding you. This is ridiculous. So, I'm into cars. I'm a car enthusiast. I am not a mechanic by trade. I am not a sound engineer. But what I have done is I purchased a decibel meter off Amazon. This one has good reviews. It's within 1.5 decibels plus or minus. And before I even go out in the street, I'm going to test all my cars with this. Now, if I'm over 95 decibels, 96 decibels, it's loud. And give me the ticket. I will try and make my car better for the streets, better for everyone around me. I am all for that. What I'm not for is giving out subjective tickets based off the officer. If he's having a bad day, he spilled his coffee on his lap, guess what? He's taking it out on you. He's taking it out on your widened tip exhaust because it's too loud. But anyway, I'm done talking about that. I am going to test the STI today. As you know, I put a brand new OBX catback on it. Now, I was afraid it was going to be severely loud, but I don't think it's loud at all. So it's a perfect time to test this guy. I'll put a link to this in the description below. I think it was like $30, $40 maybe, really cheap. Just do what I do just before you go out. And if a cop stops you and you test your car and you're below 96, you know, the fun, before I go on, there is actually not, and I've even messaged the police about this. There's not a car decibel threshold. It's only for motorcycles right now, the wording. So I think for motorcycles, it's over 96 decibels. So I'm going to use that as a rubric for my cars. But I don't even know how they can uphold the law for noise if it's for motorcycles. Maybe it's just a noise violation. I'm not a professional. I'm not going to pretend to be. But if my car's loud, I get it. If it's not loud, don't pull me over for it. Don't give me a ticket subjectively for it. That's all I'm asking. So anyway, let's test out the STI with this guy. We'll see where it's at. I don't think it's that loud, but I got the tool to test it. Now, I do have a speaker inside I bought from IKEA. I used it as a control, if you will, for this. So the speaker in there says its max volume should put out 95 decibels. I cranked it with some Tiesto, and I was getting 94.7. And obviously, it depends on the song. So I think that's pretty good. So I'm in with 0.3 decibels of the max that IKEA says that speaker will put out. So I think it's pretty accurate. So without further ado, let's see what the STI puts out. All right, guys. Let's test this thing out. So I did a little research online on how to do this properly because I'm not a professional sound engineer by any means, or, you know, anyone that knows how to do this properly. So I had to search it up, is what I'm trying to say. So most people hold it just above the bumper at a 45-degree angle, and they're about 3 feet away from the bumper corner. It says not to have it in the pathway of gas. So I'm gonna stand about here because most of them, like I said, were just above the bumper. There's variations, you know, where they place this. So I'm just gonna go with most of them. I'm gonna place it right here. I'm gonna start the car. We're gonna measure it, and then we're gonna measure it when it's warm as well. I don't have anyone here to help me. The proper way to do it would be to rev it to 2,500 RPM and test it that way. But again, let's just do it, you know, the easy way and see what the numbers are. So it looks like it's coming in at like 104, 105, 106. It's on fast. The fast setting catches all the noises from what I understand. So like, for instance, if a balloon popped, it would catch that and raise this really quick. Whereas if we turn it to slow, this is more of a smoothed out data setting. So it kind of averages it all. You see how it went from all over the place to like a steady 104.8, 104.6. Now as the car warms up, this will go down. I think slow is the one to use just because it's a smoothed out data source, basically. It's not going to be ideal, I know. There's going to be environmental noises. Sounds could be bouncing off my garage door, etc., etc. So we'll let the car warm up and we'll see what she says. All right, so the STI is quarter of the way up the gauge. Let's test this out again. Let's say about there. See, look at that. So on the slow setting, it's saying 90 to 93 decibels, so that's perfect. See, that's what I find odd. The fast setting is picking up higher decibels. It's basically picking up the highest decibel reading it can, from what I understand. So in my opinion, we'd have to go off the slow one, because the slow data is the average smoothed out data. It's mostly what you'll be hearing. And if we do it that way, you know, I'm getting anywhere from 85 to 92, but it looks like it's coming down to the high 80s. Go back to fast. And the fast is showing us mid 90s. There was 191 in there. So this is bouncing all over the place based off noise. But still, it's pretty low. Like, it's below 96, which is where I want to be, based off what I know anyway. I can't find too much information on what is okay, what's not okay where I live. So if we go slow, mid 80s, so that's pretty good. I'm kind of impressed, but again, it will be a different story when it's at 2,500 RPM. But I think this actually is pretty quiet when I'm driving this thing, so I bet you I'm still within reason, but I'll get pulled over anyway, likely. See, it's quietening right down. We're hitting 92, 95. Again, this could be picking up noises outside too, the fast data. The slow will be smoothed out, quote unquote, average data based off what I can research. So I'm pretty impressed with this. This gives me a good idea that my car, from what I understand and what I could research, and this, and my ear test, is I'm pretty legal with this exhaust system. So if I get a ticket for exhaust, they better damn well have better equipment than me and know more than me to give me a ticket. mid 90s on fast. So yeah, that's that. Just a point of reference, I'm in my car. I have the heater going 3/4 of the way and the radio on. And I'm hitting high 80s on slow. So they're fast. See, in here it's more of a controlled environment, so the fast isn't reaching as high, which makes sense. I know this isn't super scientific, but I'm just showing you how I think I understand how this works. Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me. My furnace is on in the garage. But based off what this thing told me, I'm right on the mark, and I have to look up the laws again. I can't find anything for vehicles, so again, how they're writing tickets for vehicles, I have no idea. I did get an exhaust ticket once in my Supra, and he didn't give me a noise violation because he didn't have one of these. He gave me a widened exhaust tip violation. I sent it in to fight it. I got a letter back saying your ticket's been thrown out, basically. So I think, again, I'm not a professional, but based off that, like, I don't get it. How are they going to prove it? The cop doesn't know how big your factory exhaust tip is. How are they going to write you a ticket if they don't know what your factory exhaust tip is? A. B, it's aesthetics. There's so many exhausts that have a little pipe coming out of the muffler and then it extends into a big exhaust pipe. Why are they writing you a ticket for a 4.5-inch tip if it's not loud and the actual exhaust outlet coming out of the exhaust is small? Like, I just don't get it. It's just so subjective. It irritates me. If there's proof, if a cop had this in his back pocket and he did a decibel reading on your exhaust and you were over a limit that is stated and it's clear to the public, give me the ticket, man. Totally. But if there's no law that we can find easily and they write you a ticket without one of these, and it's not even a noise ticket, that would be based off subjectiveness anyway, but it's a widened exhaust ticket? That stuff just irritates the crap out of me. The problem is that there's people writing tickets without proper tools, and it's all subjective. And there are great cops out there, don't get me wrong. All it takes is for a human being to have a bad day and possibly take it out on people, on the public, on car enthusiasts. I am basing this all off my experiences and opinions about how they write tickets. That's it, that's all. And, I have fell victim to, I don't want to call it victim, but I have gotten tickets written as widened exhaust tip or noise violations, or my friends have, and in every single case, it's just like, well, how did they do the ticket? How did they get the information to write the ticket? Well, they didn't. Oh, okay. So why is there a ticket being written? It's just craziness. Craziness. But anyway, I want to follow the law. If my car is in fact too loud for people on the street, which I personally don't think it is, but if it is and it ends up being, I will try to make it quieter. That's, I'm all for making society better and not having to do this as you're walking down the street with your dog, with your wife, with your family. I'm all for that. I have to do this with Harleys. Harleys are so loud between, in the one street we have, it's just packed full of buildings and there's Harleys ripping and, I get it. That's all I'm saying. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video is just, if you have a modified car, just go out and get a decibel meter and test it. And if you get pulled over, then you're gonna know, hey, this was coming my way because you tested your car already. And if you don't like that it's loud, fix it. I could probably put a resonator in this section of pipe that the OEM exhaust system on the stock exhaust here. There's no resonator on the new exhaust. So I could probably do that to help the noise. But I really don't think it's that loud. Even when we're driving, it's really quiet. 96 decibels. I did give it a rev. It'll probably be its loudest during a rev there's no load. and it went up to 109 decibels. So, you know, my speaker in my house went up to 95. So, you know what I mean? So it's very, very weird how noise travels. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, give this video a thumbs up. Check out the other videos on the channel. Tons of car stuff. And subscribe. All right, everybody. Happy New Year.